Morning.
Morning. How you doing?
She's asking me how I'm doing.
Hmm.
She don't know.
No, I don't know. He don't tell me. He's...
No, and I'm not telling them either. Because they'll all be saying, do this, do that, do t'other. Yeah.
So, what have you got to tell us today?
Yeah. That's what it's all about, isn't it? What have you got to tell us today?
I'm still half asleep. We've been up over an hour, haven't we?
Half asleep?
I know. I slept well last night.
She slept well last night?
Okay. Apart from going to the loo. Oh, Trevor, it's still as bad as our trace.
It's a good job it's not smelly vision. That's all I can say. Yeah, we're going to tell a story. Another story. This story is called The Other Man's Farm.
Oh.
I've told this story before, but like I've said, there's a lot of people on watching us now that have never heard any of my stories.
Never gone back to it.
So I'm gonna bore you all to death, or you long-suffering followers, by repeating it. The Other Man's Farm. The Other Man's Farm was a programme on television in the 1960s. And when I left school and went to work on that farm that I was telling you about, when he threw me breakfast on the fire back, on a Sunday, I used to work from 5 until 11 o'clock. And then we used to have the rest of the day off until 3 or half past. Very generous. Very generous. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So my dad used to come and pick me up in the car, and we'd go back to Leeds, and he'd go to a working men's club and have a game of snooker, probably with my Uncle Harold, and a pint. And then we'd go back home for 1 o'clock. In them days, Sunday lunch was 1 o'clock. Not a minute before and not a minute after. And my mum timed it to perfection. And we'd have Sunday lunch. And then after Sunday lunch, I'd go in front room and watch this programme called The Other Man's Farm. And it were all about farming, as you might well believe. And then my dad would take me back. Well, that was in 1962. You have to fast forward now. Fast forward to when? I don't know. Could have been 2010, I guess.
Yeah.
About 2010. Fast forward to 2010. How many years is that? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 2000, 50 years. 50 years.
Right. All right.
From 62, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110.
Wow.
50 years. Fast forward 50 years and there's me tuning a piano in a house on the Lincolnshire Wolds. The house was a farmhouse. It was a lovely house. And it was one of my favourite customers, really. Favourite tunings. Now, how I got from being a farmer to being a piano tuner, it's all in my book.
It's another story.
It's amazing what can happen in 50 years, isn't it? But this house was great. The piano was in this, what would be their front room, and it overlooked the walls. Well, the Lincolnshire Wolds.
Quite pretty, aren't they?
Well, they are. They're not very high, you know.
No.
We used to jokingly call it the Lincolnshire Alps. But you could see, it went down and then it was flat. And you could just see for miles from the front room window. And she used to light a fire in that room because she knew I was coming. And halfway through tuning, she'd bring me a silver tray in with one of these cafetières and a little cup and saucer and a silver milk jug and a silver container with some brown ice cubes, coffee cubes in it.
Sugar cubes.
Sorry, what did I? Coffee
cubes.
Sugar cubes in it. Yeah. And some shortbread biscuits.
You got that well.
So halfway through tuning the piano, which wasn't a difficult piano to tune by any stretch, I would sit down and enjoy this lunch and think, I a lucky man. But one day, this particular year, I used to go once a year, I think, to tune the piano. And this particular year, I was sat down and I was gazing around the room, and in the corner was a bookcase, and I saw on the bookshelf the book called The Other Man's Farm. Oh, wow. So when she came into, and when I finished tuning the piano, I said to her, I noticed a book on your bookshelf called The Other Man's Farm. I said, is that the programme that used to be on the television in the 60s? She says, yes. We was featured on that programme. So there was I, when I was, 15, watching. And when I think back to it, because there were, I won't say the name because it won't be right, but when I think, I remember that name, their name, and I have been watching them on the television.
When they were younger.
I mean,
they'd have been a lot younger, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would have been my age now, I reckon. But he was still, his son had taken over the farm, but he still went out helping, doing like driving tractor, stuff like that. So amazing coincidences. Is there such a thing as coincidence? Fate or providence? Wonder what it is. Well, that's my story this morning. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, just, did that, yeah. Cows are pretty in tune with music as well.
Yeah, you're remembering when I tuned the piano on another farm. It wasn't actually on the farm, it was in a bungalow where the sister of the farm I lived. She was a retired nurse. And she lived in this bungalow. And she had these from floor to ceiling patio
French windows.
doors. That it was a beautiful summer's day actually. And she used to make elderflower press, elderflower juice, cordial, whatever. She used to make that every year. Did this lady? And I used to tune her.
And have a glass of cordial.
And once a year. And when I went, it was all the summer. And I always had a glass of this homemade elderflower cordial. Yeah, it was lovely. And she used to open the patio doors. And I was tuning away. And she came into the room and she said, "Have you seen behind you?" And I looked round, because the piano was facing the wall. And I looked round, and all the cows in the field had all come to her fence, overlooking her garden. They were all just stood there, staring at me tuning this piano.
Listening.
Yeah, the sound had attracted the ball.
All stood in a line.
Yeah, well, in a line along the fence watching me tuning this piano. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Diary of a Piano Tuner. Well, quite a lot of piano stories.
Yeah.
I'm not telling them all today.
No.
You had it.
Oh.
So what happened yesterday?
What happened yesterday?
Oh. Well, would you believe it? Because you don't know, but after that lovely meal, we're up the mill, we're fine in there, although it was just so loud in there. When we went to the pub, remember we went to the barge afterwards, and I got half a cider and I couldn't drink it. What happened? I got blooming bellyache again, didn't I? Finished. We didn't finish up having a joyous night at all.
Couldn't sleep, could we?
Eh?
We couldn't sleep. But yesterday, you were just doing what you normally do, and David rang you, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he did.
He were having trouble with his bathroom.
He rang me and he says, Trevor says, I've rung to tell you not to park your van in the sea. I said, oh, has Alethea been telling you? He said, yeah. We had a laugh about that. But he said I wanted to come round to go up in underdrawing because I've got a leak. So he had a leak in his bathroom.
It's raining, isn't it?
So he went in there and he couldn't find out. Couldn't see anything.
Oh.
Well, he said the floor's wet, the floor of the underdrawing, the loft. But he couldn't find where it were coming from. So he says, I'm going to have to come round when it's raining to see. So that was our exciting
afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. And then later on, Tracy had been out all afternoon. Walking with Trudy.
Oh, they've gone to farm, haven't they, in
Middleton.
Meanwood. Urban farm. Yeah, used to be there when Mick lived there in Meanwood.
Right.
When him and boys moved into that house.
Yeah, it's been there years, hasn't it?
Yeah. Long time.
She said it was full of Japanese students.
Oh, having a look round.
Mm.
Mm.
But she asked us if we wanted to go for a curry to Keighley Curry House. But,
We didn't.
I said, well, we had a cooked breakfast for us lunch yesterday, and we had no money. So she said, "Oh, it don't matter. I'll treat you." I said, "No." It's typical of Tracy is that she would and all. Said no. I didn't feel
Quite right.
didn't feel right. So we didn't go.
She did.
She did, and she says to me, she come into the room when she got back, and she says, "Have you seen what's going on down in Rodley?"
Oh, aye. I forgot
No.
about that.
She says, "Oh, there's all fire engine, police, there's all sorts down. Ambulances. What? A car?
It was a van.
A van?
A van had gone through, because the outside they
Not
have
Badge pub where we was Saturday night.
Yeah, they have railings so you can sit
out
behind these railings. And this van had run through the railings and nearly to the front door at
Right.
pub.
Wow.
Don't know how it had done it, whether it had come down straight that way or come that way across.
No, I've no idea.
And she hadn't. But she said it looked like devastation down there.
Somebody, before that fence were there was something else there and that got knocked down.
Did it?
I think it was a low wall. Somebody ploughed into that.
Oh.
And then she had all that taken out and all that new fencing, they're all metal railings.
Yeah.
And somebody's gone and ploughed through that. She does have problems down there with things. It used to flood in the 70s when we lived here.
Yeah.
In the 70s, it used to flood down there on that junction. But they put all pipes underground, didn't they?
Yeah.
Massive drain holes underground. Runs into the canal, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's opposite Bagley,
Bagley
what
Lane.
we call Bagley.
And it's a hill.
It's a hill, yeah.
So you can't go out of Rodley without you go up an hill.
No.
It's in a valley here as well. And you won't know we're in a valley, I know, because you look outside. Well, you can. It seems to have lifted a bit. From upstairs, it was just thicker fog.
Oh, it was. Yeah, because river and canal.
River and canal. River Air runs parallel.
Just over other
with
side
canal.
of the farm.
Probably. What will feel that'll be 7 or 8 acres. That field, I reckon.
Yeah.
And that river's the other side of that. River Air. Mucky old River Air. Don't know if it is still mucky. Because Leeds were always mucky. It's hard to believe them. You're going to Leeds now.
Looks so sophisticated, doesn't it?
That's the right word.
Yeah.
It does. But I can remember when it was dark, satanic, smoky, black buildings, industry.
Yeah. Yeah, industry.
Which employed people.
Yeah.
I don't know what the people do in these buildings in Leeds, these fancy glass-fronted things they build now. You wonder what people do in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing how you can make money sat down at a desk in it.
There used to be a mill down on Kirkstall Road that just before you come into Leeds. And your Uncle Ivan used to work there, didn't he? And
they found out that it was
carcinogenic.
what they were messing with, what they
Yeah.
were making, had asbestos
Yeah, asbestos in
in
it.
it.
And
I haven't
your
got
auntie
Brenda, his wife.
Brenda, when they were younger, you and Ivan were younger, they used to play in grounds of it. Well, the mothers worked in
Yeah, because they lived near.
in mill.
Oh, they lived down
Whatever
Canal
they were
Road
doing,
at that
yeah.
time.
Yeah, whatever they were doing in there. And they used to play around in it, all this dust, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, Ivan did finish up
He
with
finished up with a bad chest.
bad chest,
and,
yeah.
Eventually died of
No,
cancer, didn't he?
it was stomach.
Well, I mean, you breathe it in, don't you? Goes down there.
Does it?
Breathing in.
When you breathe in, does it go into your stomach and all?
Well, it goes down into your lungs and things, don't it? Sure it will.
Well, that's what I
Yes.
always believe, yeah. But I never thought of it going into your belly and all.
Yeah, it'll get all over, won't it?
Will it?
Sure it will.
You, Dr. Spock.
Me who knows nothing.
Do you have any evidence
No,
for
no,
this?
I don't. I don't have any evidence whatsoever.
Hey, come on, do you know that it goes into your belly as well?
Who knows?
You learn something new every day on Life on the Run.
It might not be right.
I think,
But I'll tell you.
well, if you've watched us for long enough, you'll know there's a good chance it won't be right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh dear. I've been watching all these things pop up on YouTube saying Clint Eastwood ain't dead.
Dead. No.
What a crazy world, isn't it?
But Bobby Charlton is.
Yeah.
No. We have that from the horse's mouth.
And what's the horse's mouth? BBC?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know about them.
I'm saying it on football.
Yeah, yeah. BBC, you get a very one-sided view of the world from them. They're supposed to be impartial, BBC.
BBC.
They're so carefree. I think it's a conspiracy to lull me into passive thought with excited triviality.
One of Trevor's songs when he was younger. Even then he didn't believe BBC.
No, I didn't. No, no. Even then I thought they were full of shit.
Very rarely watch BBC or BBC.
I don't, everybody has to pay this bloody licence fee. Hardly anybody watches it, do they? Well, I bet they watch
Well,
Jim.
it's football. It's the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
thing we watch. Oh, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I watched the F1 on Sky on computer last night, on my laptop last night. Because I thought we weren't going to say all about it, were
About what?
we?
About what? I've forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, we won't go into Tracy's private affairs. Where I watched F1 last night. And then this morning, I hope that wasn't fake news, that Hamilton got disqualified. I found out. He comes second.
Oh, I know.
They disqualified him.
Yeah, and for no he could.
Well,
Well, no, he did.
they've modified the car. They've had loads of modifications and it's made not the jot of difference to it. And this weekend, a new modification to the floor, the floor of the car, and said for the first time in 2 years I've noticed a difference in car.
And he got to second instead of being down 10th or 9th.
Yes, it's made so much difference, and then he's got disqualified because
the
floor were too low. God. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything's crazy, isn't it?
So didn't they know how
They might
high
as well
the
have
floor?
not raced.
Yeah,
No punt.
yeah,
Nil puncter.
yeah. Might as well not raced.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking when you told me.
They were always it there and all. Harry.
Oh, were they? Prince? Oh, yes, because he's over there, isn't
The
he?
Prince of Sussex.
Is he? I don't know.
The Prince of Sussex
I don't follow royalty.
was there.
Meghan,
No, I didn't see her.
didn't you?
No.
Have they got 2 children now?
Yeah, I bet they know that.
You know that one, yeah, I don't.
I
Don't follow them, do
I don't know if they've got 26 minutes. Impossible.
I? Yeah, we've been on long enough.
We better stop. Ta-ra,
Okay.
folks.
Bye.